Good evening, good evening. Welcome back, sim race fans, to season 35 for NAGP. Oh man, where to start? But it's been a little while since NAGP has been broadcasting. This is probably not your familiar voice you're used to hearing on Monday nights. This is Jesse Olson broadcasting solo tonight, so it'll be me calling the shots. So I'm a first-time camera operator and second-time broadcaster. So bear with us as we might have some near misses and maybe a few whoopsie-doos as the evening goes. But I'll try my best to keep us on point and capture all the action. We're just started qualifying here at Sebring. I'll give you all the details, but let's go ahead and hop on board with some of these drivers. Oops, and hang on, folks. It looks like we've had our first technical difficulty already. Sorry about that, folks. I had to step out of game there and reload myself back into the server here so I can bring in some on cam and cover this 25 minutes of quali. Hang on one second. All right, looks like we're just in time. Matt Taylor is on track. I see we're getting the first of our qualification times, our hot laps, on the board here. Matt's first on the board with a 1:39.123. Looks like Kevin Lemansky is out on track. Let's hop on board with him. So as I mentioned, it's brand new season 35 here at NAGP, and there's been a lot of off-season silliness between season 34 and season 35. Most of the big news coming from the change in administration here at NAGP. So we have some new leaders after some longtime leaders stepped down and decided to turn the reins, and were kind enough to pass along all the goodies that came along with that, including some NAGP intellectual property and assets and all the hard work those guys put in for 11 years. So first off, thanks to Al Merriman, Brad Marys, apologize, Brad, Chris Moses, Aaron Parsons. Some of these guys are actually still around in a non-administrative role, and some of these guys are just not here this season. So thanks to what the guys did before us and for paving the way and let us continue this tradition on here. So looks like don't have any cars here on track at the moment, and looks like I may have lost. Oh, the server's back. I thought I lost the server there for a second, but we're back. And we've got a new pole sitter, or I should say provisional pole sitter, in Philippe Gill. There's a familiar name from season 34, and as in seasons before that as well. Philippe right now with a 139.019, so 139 flat for Philippe. I was taking some peeks at the practice laps, and noticed some of these guys were put in a couple attempts at flyers, and 139 seemed to be a really good pace. So it'll be interesting to see if we get into the 138s. A couple guys real close right now. Philippe at a 139.0. Taylor 139.1. There's a familiar name, right? Last year's epic ending season 34 open wheel on Monday night saw the championship just slip away from Matt Taylor, but looks like he's back for season 35 and ready to put in another effort. Let's see what Philippe's got here. Well, that must have been an outlap for him. Well, but he puts it off, so that's probably going to put him back to the pits. Well, look at who we have here. Speaking of our former administration, Mr. Chris the King Moses is on track. And he's got a 139.214 on the boards already, which is P3 provisionally. Looks like he's running up on the back of Sergio. I don't know if that's gonna cost him any time on this lap. Let's ride with him. Oh, Chris with a big slide right there, and he's gonna bail on that one. So that'll put Chris back to the pits and ready to do another outlap. Check out Mr. Parsons here, another former administrator who's somewhat still in administrative capacity. Hasn't gone anywhere. He's still with us. He's still just as fast as he seemed to be last year. Carried some good pace already, a 139.3, just 0.3 off the pole, which has been reset to now 138.868 by Matt Taylor. So that's fine. We're in 138s. I questioned if we would see it, and the question's been answered with 16 minutes left to go in qualifying. We're staying on board with Ezza here. See if maybe he can take a crack. Looks like he must be on an outlap. He's warming his tires. We'll jump down here to Michael McKinday. Michael McKinday. I don't believe he ran any open wheel last season. He was one of the standouts in our GT1 Thursday night, season 34. See what McKinday has got going for him here on this lap. Oh, 139.4 puts him up to P6. That's a nice run, Michael. It's a nice run. Glad to see you stuck around, and I'd like to see this guy at the front of the pack. P6. He's not far from the lead. He'll find a way to get there. Let's go back and visit with Ezza. Looks like he's got a 10th in the first sector. Sets up maybe a little bit wide. I'm not sure if that's going to cost him. Coming off 16 there, that's such a critical corner because it launches you down this long back straightaway into Sunset Bend. Turn 17, which is almost 2 corners in one. All sorts of bumps and tricks to it. And Ezza lost a lot of time there at the end of that lap. Half a second middle sector 1.1, so he just supposed to have a little bit of trouble. Not sure if he overheated the tires or if he just may have gotten a little offline. Go back to McKinday, who's just put in a fast one, 38.687. So you got 4 cars now in the 138s. And Philippe Gill right now is your provisional pulls that are at 138.233. So we are deep into the 38s. Maybe we're knocking on the 37s. That's a fast lap here at Sebring. Let's hop to a different driver. Looks like Philippe's stuck in some traffic, so we'll take a look at Andrew Warner, another long-time NAGP regular. That's a fantastic looking livery on this 2018 Indycar, which I really enjoy the aesthetics of this car. Such a great new car in real life, in the sim. Looks fantastic here. I believe that's an old, is that an old Villeneuve inspired livery? Maybe. Anyways, looks good. Warner lost a little bit of time in that middle sector. But he's been knocking on the door of the 38s. See if he can make it up here in this last turn 17. Sunset bend. He takes a very shallow line. Well, sometimes the short way is a fast way. We'll see. Oh, I lost a little bit more time. Does it improve? 139 flat for him. Taylor appears to be on the move. He's going to run up the back. John Ludden here. Let's see if he catches a draft. Oh, he pulls out of line. He must have lost some time. Let's take a look at Marc DeGraw. This is a bright yellow 2018 Indycar. Well, we're watching Mark take a lap here. He lost some time in that middle sector. I'll talk a little bit about this 2018 IndyCar here at NAGP. So I've been told around the paddock that David Zahn, Kevin Lemansky had a lot of time in this car vetting out this 2018 IndyCar for NAGP League Racing. So they've worked on the car. They've set some of the rules and parameters. What did Mark turn in there? DeGraw 139.8 last lap, so that's not going to help him move. But back to the car here, we've got two sets of tires. I don't think you can tell visually, but if you notice here on the lifetime, we got an A for alternate. So the alternate tires are just designed to represent the red tires, or the alternates in real life. They're stickier tires. The compound's a little softer in the beginning, probably for 5 or 6 laps or so, and then they're going to fall off. And then they're going to be slower. And there's a primary compound, which in real life is a black wall tire. I think they're the same looking tire here. So you might not be able to tell visually, but there will be a primary tire, which will be slower at first and then overall pace, but will last longer, give drivers a longer run into the 33-lap race. All drivers are mandated to use both compounds throughout the race. So you can do that in any manner, any strategy you want, but it will be a mandate to run both compounds. And David Zahn not only worked on the car, but he's worked on some applications here to assist running these very fast, very complicated 2018 Indy cars. That'll track that progress for us, so we'll be able to enforce the rule of using both compounds throughout the course of the race, and we'll be enforcing pit lane speed limits this season. There'll be no more dive bombing into the pits. David's got an app for tracking that, and we'll talk about the penalties maybe a little bit later, but just so you know, there will be a pit lane speed limit this season, and there will be some penalties dished out for those who can't seem to be able to follow this new speed limit. So some of those can be as severe as a disqualification. So we'll keep our eyes peeled as we get into this race and see pit strategies play out. Let's hop on board with Matt Taylor again. He's wrapping up a lap. Looks like he's up. Tucks in real tight here around Sunset Bend, turn 17. It's a bumpy one. And Taylor to the top. 137.989. That's a fast lap. It's 8 minutes to go, but can anybody reach him? It's about 2.5 tenths faster than Philippe Gill's fastest. Let's run him down while we're at it. Michael McKinday in your third position here at 138.6. Andrew Warner's flying out there. He's in P4 with a 138.8. Mark DeGraw, 138.8, sitting P5, just about 10th and a half behind Warner. Chris Moses, position 6. He's just under a second behind Taylor, so Taylor's got a good lead out there, but a second's going to cover our top 6. Brad Maris, 139 flat, just second off the pace of Taylor. P7's could be a good place to start, though. Aaron Parsons, 139.1, P8. Kevin Lukamansky on a 139.3. Keep an eye on this guy. I think he's got a faster time in him than that. Kevin's last year's champion. He got that champion spot in the last race, pretty dramatic fashion. And I expect to see him towards the front in qualifying and in the race. So we'll see where he shakes out here. John Houston, a good time, 139.4. We're all bunched up here in some traffic. I don't know if he's on an out lap and letting these guys go. Oh, we've got some mayhem. I didn't see who that was. It was a purple car. These are all new liveries, so it's going to take me some time to learn who's who just by catching a quick glimpse. So bear with me as we're a little slow to get the call-outs here. We're on board with John Houston. Sharp-looking orange car. Sitting in 10th on a 139.4. Kevin Miller, 139.7, P11. The purple car belongs to Jake Feemster on a 140 flat. He's got about 2 seconds to go to get the Taylor's time. Jake was quick last year. Not sure if he's found the pace of this car yet. We'll see how that goes. Looks like he's ready to go out and put a new time on the board. John Ludden is off track going back to the pits, but he's sitting in 13th with a 140.1. Alan Jacobs with a 140.1 as well, 14. Greg Myers, Mr. Consistency, 140.2. Keep an eyeball on this guy. These cars are a handful. Consistency might be better than overall pace. Expect to see Greg near and in the top 10. David Zahn is the mastermind behind a lot of what's happening this season. Thank you, David. Good looking car. I believe is that a Canaan livery? Might be. Looks good. I like the car. David's sitting in 16th. John Wathen, P17. He's got that fun Rayovac Tarvik livery going on. Good to see John back. Santiago Campo. That's a new name, I think that's a new name for an AGP. Haven't seen him before in my limited tenure in the previous seasons with North American Grand Prix. He's sitting in 18th. Mateo Maya? I'm gonna go with that. Maya? We'll just call him Mateo. Mateo's in 19th, the 140.5. Jonathan Coupe, P20. On the board, the 140.7. Joel Ekman, 140.8. Sitting in 21st. Dale Ballweg, he's back. 140.0. Tom Traskell, Turbo Tommy, 140.0. Josh Slade's in with a 140.1 and P24. Iggy Jordia. My apologies, Iggy. 141.2, 25th. 26, Esteban Rodas. Another new name, 141.2 for P26. Brian Story, 141.5, 27th. David Rowley's got a 141.76 and P28. Wow, we are in 28 cars. Can you believe that? And I'm still going. Omar Gomez, P29, 141.8. Omar, nope, that just switched on me. Omar's at P29 now, 141.8. Chuck Carter, 142.1. I just want to note here, Chuck has, I Wouldn't know what to call him exactly by title, but I'd call him the new NAGP crew chief, and that's for sure. He's taken over a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of the front end. So big thank you to Chuck here for keeping the league on its feet and organizing everything that's happened over the last, oh, I'd say 4 months. Maybe it's been that long since we've had an official league. And we'll talk a little more in a little bit, but Chuck's in P30. Connor Francis, 142.6 and 31st. He's not on track right now. Maybe he's making some adjustments to work on that. Better make them quick. We only got 2.5 minutes left. Sergio Calderon, 143.0. Just a little bit back, P32. Welcome back, Sergio. So right now, let's go on board with Andrew Warner. Warner's a little bit off pace. He's already 1.2 back. This may be maybe a setup lap. I'm not sure how many hot laps they can get out of these alternate compound tires. I haven't seen anybody on the primary tires yet, so everybody qualifying on the alternates. Which we'll have to stick with alternates instead of the reds because I think both tires are red. So let's talk about this car. We got another second, minute and a half here as we wrap this up. These cars also have push to pass this season. So push to pass, that's going to be 50 horsepower bump. That's going to be good for a 15-second duration. So 50 horsepower for 15 seconds. You can definitely deploy that on that long back straightaway that Philippe's blasting down right now. You're going to get 10 of those a race. The drivers can pick and choose when they get to use the push to pass. I'm not sure. I don't think there's any available here in qualifying. Philippe goes 138.2. They went 138.3. His fast lap was a 138.2, so not quite the best there for him. Let's see who else is on a flyer. Let's hop down to Ezza. Maybe Ezza's got something up his sleeve here. Anyways, 10 push to passes, 15 seconds each, and there's a mandatory 20-second lockout of that feature, so you can't pound the push to pass twice for 30 seconds. It's going to be 15 seconds, and you're going to have to hold. So, not only this tire strategy coming into play this season, but also a little bit of the horsepower. That'll be fun to watch. So we're wrapping up qualifying here. Don't see anybody on a fast one yet. Parsons spins it. He's done. Taylor's coming out. He's not gonna be. He's got to be doing a recon. Time's up. DeGraw's on pit lane. Oh, McKinday. Looks like he's on a recon lap or an out lap. He's not gonna cross the line. Time to get a time in. Not sure. Well, Warner's got a lap in maybe. Let's see. Well, my timing just updated. Looks like McKinday is on the lap. This might be our last flyer of the session. McKinday on a 138.0. His previous best time was a 138.5. He's a little bit wide in that corner. That might hurt him a little bit. Yeah, he's done. McKinday's going to have to bail. And I guess that leaves Andrew Warner. Andrew Warner comes across 138.826. So that was his best, but doesn't move him anywhere. So that's it. That's your officially official 25-minute round 1 qualifying at Sebring. Talk about Sebring in a little bit too. Sebring's one of my favorite places. I am a Floridian, and I've done a couple laps around Sebring. I've been there for some races, so it's an epic, world-class facility. I recommend everybody check out some point in their life, but I actually have a few laps around this track. Not anything near this fast, not even close to the times these guys are running. I wish we could really have some Indycars on this track. They do use Sebring for testing, but they use a smaller circuit. So fun little fact, usually you'll see the Indycar testing preseason during the winter, where it's nice and sunny throughout most of the year there in Sebring, Florida. It's a little muggy, but they do testing on the non-airport, which you're looking at right now, which just turned 17. They run a smaller circuit. They stay off the old airfield runway portion, which they start on and finish the lap on. That surface is really bumpy. Bumpy in a street car. Couldn't imagine what it'd be like in one of these high-strung rockets. So let's run down your order here from quali. Matt Taylor, he's got the pole. 137.683. DeGraw, he ran a 137.8. Tenth and a half across those first two guys. That's pretty impressive. All right, we got 2.5 minute countdown. This is a short countdown here, folks. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it just feels short because I'm up here pushing all these buttons and trying to talk to you guys. Well, you can't talk back to me for now, so it's just me talking at you, not talking with you. So let's run down the order here. I'm sorry you're not gonna be able to see these cars in a good camera view. I'll have to learn some of these tricks here as we get better with the broadcast. Matt Taylor's your pole sitter. Mark DeGraw, P2. Michael McKenday, P3. Philippe Gill, P4. Andrew Warner, P5. Chris Moses, the king, is back. Let's see if he can reclaim that title. P6. Brad Maris, P7. Ezza, P8. Kevin Legmansky, P9. Moved up a little bit. Expect to see what Kevin can do here early on. David Zahn, P10. Kevin Miller, P11. John Houston, P12. Jake Feemster, P13. John Ludden, 14th. Alan Jacobs, 15th. John Cuppett, 16th. Greg Myers in the taxi, 17th. John Wathen, 18th. Santiago Ocampo, 19th. Mateo, P20. And we're not done yet, folks. Joel Ekman, 21st. Dale Baldwig, 22nd. Tom Traskell, 23rd. Josh Sladen, 24th. Iggy Jordia, 25th. Esteban Rodas, 26th. Brian Story, 27th. David Rowley, 28th. Omar Gomez, 29th. Chuck Carter is in 30th. Connor Francis, 31st. Sergio Calderon is 32nd, and we have 32 cars on the field, ladies and gentlemen. 32 cars in a round 1 at Sebring. Let's get back to the cars held being sent back to the pits. Lights are going on. I'll try to get these cams situated right away, folks. Bear with me. Sorry about that, everybody. I missed the beginning. That's my fault there. My camera got locked on somebody else. My live timing's a little messed up here. It says we have somebody in pit lane at first, but now it's sorted out. All right, Matt Taylor. He's your leader. Right behind him, Michael McKenday must have got a good start. Philippe Gill is in 4th. Chris Moses in 5th. Andrew Warner in 6th. They must have flipped spaces there on the start. Let's watch the field run through here. There's Matt Taylor. There's Chris Moses. Ooh, it's getting a little tight there. It was almost too wide coming through these S's. Not a lot of room in these S's. I wouldn't advise too wide to go through there. Got a couple guys bringing up the back here. Oh, we got somebody off track. Let's jump back to your leader, Matt Taylor, still out front. He's got half a second lead already. Whoa, whoa! Michael McKenday just took it wide. Oh, I don't know if he hit the wall, but he's definitely off. Looks like he got to pull back together though. Oh, and he spins it. He spins it. I wonder if he overheated those tires. Now he's trying to get it back on track. We'll stay with McKenday to see if any more mayhem follows. Looks like he's going to tuck it off to the outside and get back on track. Let's stay with him. Wow, that was busy. Let's jump back up front. So it looks like Taylor escaped with McKenday's off to 4 seconds already. So Matt Taylor's got a 4-second cushion, and we're only 2 laps in. And there's a race going for P2. It's Mark DeGraw and Philippe Gill. Now Philippe's put the pressure on him. Let's see if he tries that push to pass here. Oh, we got a car way out wide. It's not Moses. Who is that? Oh, is that Mateo? Nope. Somebody's dropping like a stone. Let's go back, hop on board with DeGraw here. Looks like he bought himself a little bit of space there while we switched cameras. Like Mark's able to hold that gap. He's got about a second now. Let's jump on back with Chris Moses. Moses looks like he's got a small train right behind him. These guys are still pretty racy here. We're starting the 3rd lap. We're going 33 laps tonight, folks. So one thing I don't know is I don't know what these guys are doing for strategy. We've got 1 car out of the race already, and that's Brian Story. Let's jump on board here with Kevin Lekmansky. Looks like he's got his mirrors full of John Houston, but is giving chase to Ezza. Bansky up to P7 already. And you see, I told you, keep an eye on this guy, get towards the front. And he's with, not quite striking distance, but he's hanging on in the back of Ezza. Just inside of a second. A lot of time here, folks. A lot of race left. We got 30 laps to go, so keep an eye on Kevin here as he's got John Houston just kind of hanging behind him, just inside half a second. Gets a little bit of draft on the front straight. Coming into that turn 1, which is blind. That is a scary corner at speed. And here we got a bird. We got in the catbird seat here. We're watching as it go after Chris Moses. I bet nobody's ever said that before. I'm just gonna pretend everybody laughed at that. I need an audience. Woo! Was that a lockup from Kevin Lacmancy? I think he did. I think he locked it up there going into turn 7. That's a slow hairpin. He's going to have Kevin Miller all over him. Whoa, careful, boys. That's a tricky corner to be too wide through. You really want to get that move done before you get there. Miller is just... He ain't giving up. It's going to end in tears. Who's it going to be? That's going to be Kevin Lacmancy. Man. Miller's having another go. Looks like he could be off a little bit. Stay with Miller here. Oh, he's going to catch the inside retaining wall. Oh, that's a bummer. I don't know if he tried to push the issue there through what they call, that's Bishop's Bend there. That is a double left-hander. Hang on to it, Kevin. Oh, we're not done yet. He must have cooked those tires. It must be greasy. He's on the alternates. Oh, I bet they're piles of mush right now. He's still having his hand full. All right, I think we've seen enough here, Kevin. Let's get to Santiago. Oh, Santiago just had a spin in front of him. Who was that? That's Alan Jacobs having a spin coming out of the turn 17 Sunset Bend there. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Michael McKenday. Apologies. McKenday. Oof. You know, these cars are said to be a handful. Everybody was saying pre-season that the throttle application is real tricky. There's less aero on these cars than before previous Indy cars. I think these guys are having to try to tame the aero package. Just not quite getting the grip. There's a big lockup from Chris Moses. And guess what? It's going to put Ezza right there. Can Ezza get it done? Oh, I think they both checked up. I don't know if Chris didn't see him. I'm sure he saw him. Here we go again. They're going too wide. Oh, keep it tight through Bishops. Those are two fast left-handers, and if you get them right, oh, they are wicked fast. And we come out P6, turn 16 here. See if Aaron steps on it. There's a push to pass in this. See if he tries to get a track position. Oh, he's close. Not close enough to get it done here in the 17. Moses is going to hold that position. Complete the 5th lap. We're 5 laps in here, folks. Pretty busy. We'll try to get as much of the action as we can here. Well, you got to expect Chris Moses and Aaron Parsons. They could probably do this for 20 laps. We might not have to go anywhere. Just a quick update in case you're not watching that live timing up there. Taylor's got 5 seconds on Mark DeGraw. And then Gill from DeGraw, almost 4 seconds on top of that. So Warner's in front of these guys, 13 seconds back. And this battle is almost 17 seconds behind Matt Taylor, only after 5.5 laps. That's over 3 seconds a lap. I know these guys are racing, but Taylor is just flying. Well, we've lost a few other participants. I'm sorry if we missed any, fantastic exits. Looks like Rally is off. Mateo's off. Calderon's the last car of the lap. Let's go back to Taylor for a minute. Taylor maybe lost a little bit of pace that lap. He's down to about 4.5 seconds. That could just be some of the yo-yo effect of where they are on the track. But yeah, let's hold them steady about 4.5 seconds. There's Mark DeGraw. P2. Philippe Gill, P3. Andrew Warner, P4. Chris Moses still defending against Aaron Parsons for P5. But now look who's joined the fray. Just half a second back. That's John Houston. Let's ride with Houston for a little bit. See if he can find an opportunity here, if he's just going to kind of bide his time. Looks like he's dropped back just a touch. Maybe to get some better air. And maybe a little bit of damage he's got there on his side pod. Can't tell if that's just the graphics or if that's the how these cars damage. The first time we've seen them in broadcast, so we'll keep an eye on what these cars look like as they get a little beat up here at Sebring. This is a rough track. It'll beat up anybody. Let's jump back on board Chris Moses. Maybe Ezra. They're gonna get around a lapped car here. They both deal with it pretty well. I don't know if Ezra's not able to really make a move just yet. Well, we got another lap car in front of him. We'll see. Oh, he pulls right in front of him, Sergio. Sergio came right on the line in front of Chris Moses. He checks up. Ezra checks up. Houston's in the back now. He's looking to capitalize. Ezra kicks up a little dust on there on the end of the carousel. Oh, he's got to run. Is he going to take a shot? Houston tucks back in. Oh, it's hard on the brakes. A little lock up. P5, P6, P7. Nose to tail, and guess what? There's Kevin Kamansky. P8. He's now hovering just a second outside of this battle here. So this battle for P5. Oh, Moses. Moses, we missed it. Oh. Oh, no. Moses puts it off. I'm not sure if he got in the wall, if he's got any damage, but he's dropped to P9. So that's going to let Parsons through for P5. Houston's P6, but he's got a mirror full of Kevin Kamansky right now. Maybe Houston had to check up when Chris went off. Apologies for missing that. And then Parsons goes off. Parsons off at 16 there. So he goes off. That's going to cost him a ton of pace. John Wathen slips by for P7. So just like that, Moses and Ezra are battling for P5, P6. Now they find themselves P8 and P9. That puts Houston into the top 5. But he's got a mirror full, 2 mirrors full for Kevin Kamansky. Let's stay here at this battle, folks. This looks pretty good. We're gonna take a short sponsor break. For a moment, we'll leave you here with John Houston and Kevin Kamansky, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds. And we're back. Kevin Kamansky still in the hunt for a top 5. John Houston's got the spot right now. We're almost 10 laps in. Wow, that's a fast 10 laps. These guys are flying out there. You know, who's really flying is Matt Taylor right now. He's got 12 seconds to the good on Gill. So something to keep an eye on here. We're at 10 laps. Looks like everybody started on the alternates, or at least everybody towards the front started on the alternates. Let's take a look back here. Like Meyer started on the primaries. Omar's on the alternates. Ludden's on the primaries. So a few alternate strategies. Feemster on the primaries. So just wanted to check in with that. We see who's on the alternates and who's on the primaries. Remember, these alternates should be starting to go away if they haven't already. Let's take a look at some of Taylor's lap times. Well, pretty consistent. High 138s. A little bit of a slip up there on that 6th lap like we caught, but other than that, if those alternates were supposed to go away, he's taking great care of them. Let's go back here to Houston, who has somehow gotten to P4. Who'd we lose? Oh, we must have missed it. There must have been an off at Houston. Oh, big slide. Big slide. That's going to let Kevin Lukmansky into P4. Houston's going to be in P5. And John Wathen, steadily climbing up the ladder, is now in P6. All right, we've got Taylor in the pits. Warner's coming in the pits. Everybody did 10 laps on the alternates. Let's see what Lukmansky does. Lukmansky dive in. He does. Whoa, John Houston slides around him. I don't know if that was under the speed limit or not. These got some new rules. That's going to be fun for the CC to sort out. We'll talk about them in a little bit too. Lots to talk about. This is a quick race and there's lots of action on pit road. So we're seeing everybody cycle out here. I'll watch Lukmansky. He said, "Oh, somebody exited their pit hard into the wall. Ouch." Houston is out. Lukmansky is gonna come out. Almost gets into the side of Wathen. Wathen's gonna get by. Lukmansky loses 2 spots in the pits. Going to show him in 15th here. We'll see everything cycles out, but he just lost track position to John Wathen. And John Houston. They've got Gomez split in the middle right now. You know, like, I don't think Gomez is pitted yet. And he's looking a little racy right now. Looks like he's wanting to fight these guys, but that's not really his fight right now. And this seems to be where the action is, so we're going to stay here with this. Let's see what John Wathen sees here. Wathen is he's wanting to get by Omar here. He's taking a look. I don't know if he's got this. Oh, he doesn't have it covered there. Takes it a little deep. It's going to be shallow on the exit. Let's see if he gets a run coming on the front stretch. Oh, Omar's in. Okay, so he gets around regardless. It looks like a couple more of these guys are finally going to hit their pit stalls. We'll see how things shake out. Right now at the front. Wow. Taylor got in and out and onto the primary tire, which will be that'll complete his requirement to get to run both compounds. So I guess he's good till here to the end. We'll see how this works, or maybe if he comes back in and grabs a set of alternates. He's still got 12 seconds to DeGraw, so it looks like he didn't lose any spots throughout that cycle. I don't see many people. I think Feemster hasn't pitted yet. He's still out there on a primary tire. Philippe Gill, who I did not take note of, started on the primary. I don't know if he's still out there, if he started on the primer or if he already grabbed primaries. Maybe he worked his way back up. We'll have to see how that shakes out. Let's check Philippe's lap times. I don't think I see a pit stop in there. Keep an eye on Philippe. He still may have a pit stop coming later in this race, but right now he's in third. Warner's in fourth. It shows Warner on the alternates. I wonder if, let's see if he's pitted. I see two really slow laps, 159.5 and 154.1. I gotta think those are his pits. I'm not sure if he started on primaries. We'll keep an eye on him. Feemster is in fifth, and it looks like he's got a little bit of a damaged wing, so I wonder if he's got some damage to contend with. Yeah, that rear wing looks like it's sloping a little bit to his, what would be his passenger side or his right side. There's no passengers in these cars, of course, but his right side. Aaron Parsons is sixth. He's onto the primaries. Houston's on the primaries. He's in seventh. Wathans looks like he grabbed another set of alternates. We'll see how that works out. McMansky's in ninth on the primaries. Moses still on the alternates. Let's see if Moses took a stop. Yeah, looks like he did. Mary's still on the alternates. Did he make a stop? Yeah, it looks like he did. Luden, oh, just as we switch to him, he almost loops it. Has to get out of the gas big time. That's going to cost him a couple spots. That slides Greg Byers into P12. Look at him. Here we go, folks. Did I call it or what? This guy to be hunting around the top 10 with his consistency. Sitting P12. We'll see what else he can get as this race goes on. Still a long ways to go. We're only lap 14 of 33. We just saw a Cummins slide by. Love there, P13. Josh Slade. That looks like Hinchy's livery. He's coming in. Looks like he was on the primaries, and he's coming in for pit stop. I'm not sure if he's out of tire, if he's out of fuel, or maybe he's got some damage. Well, but nevertheless, he's in the pits. Josh is going to drop some positions to 16th. Alan Jacobs also pitting from the primaries, P17. Jonathan Cuppet also in the pits. Iggy Giordia, P18. Chuck Carter, still out there. He's coming in the pits, 19th. Dale Bellweg, he's out there, 20th, hanging on the end of the lead lap for us. So you got 20 cars in the lead lap. Joel Ekman's, looks like he's your first car a lap down from Taylor, as Ekman made a stop. I think he did. He's got a really long 9th and 10th lap. I think that might have been his pit stop. Gomez, 22nd. Calderon, I'll switch cameras here. He's out there somewhere. 23rd. Let's go to David Zahn. 24th. Good looking car, dude. Kevin Miller's in the pits. Michael McKenday's in the pits. He's been in the pits a long time. I wonder if these guys are retired. So we've got 24 cars still out there. David Zahn's the last car on track. Let's go back to Matt Taylor, our leader. Looks like he's just cleared some lap traffic. 13.5 seconds ahead of Mark DeGraw. He's in second. Now here's Philippe Gill under pressure from Andrew Warner. Take note that Philippe is on the primary and Warner's on the alternate compound. So let's see what this tire compound's different looks like. Also with push to pass. So we'll see if Philippe can defend and if Andrew can make the best of an opportunity. I can appreciate the patriotic helmet there, Philippe. Looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can see what Warner's seeing here. Coming into turn 1. It's fast left-hander. Got to watch the exit. Too fast. You're getting the rough stuff out there. This is a real fast section of the track, and they bring her down to almost a screeching halt for turn 7. Let's see how close Andrew's able to get. I think it's pretty close. About 4/10 back from Philippe. As we come into turn 10 there, that's a tough one too. Turn 13. We call that tower corner, if I recall. It's been a while since I've been to Sebring. Here you go in these two fast left-handers. Bishop's Bend into the S's. 15 coming up to 16, where they can take that wide. They're allowed to run out there. You run all the way out to those rumble strips, but you got to get back on the pavement quickly because they end and it's bumpy after that. They come down this old runway into turn 17. Philippe still holding back Andrew. Now what's real interesting is to see the different lines. Oh, Andrew takes it right out of the grass. Uses all the racetrack. I think that might have got him a run though. If not, maybe he's on the push to pass. He's going to try to get underneath in turn 1, and he got it. Can he hang on? They're going to come into turn 2, turn 3, into the carousel section. They're close, nice and clean, boys. That was well done. That was well done by both drivers. Got to get a good exit out of the carousel here. They both come out clean. Looks like Andrew's going to get the spot. Well, I'm not sure if that was the tires helping exiting that turn 17 or if that was just some push to pass or a combination of the both, but definitely had some pace coming down that front straight into turn 1, and I don't think there was much Philippe could do about it besides make one move and, you know, hope that Andrew missed his brake point or made a mistake. That's what all you can do at that point. You're kind of a sitting duck. And there's not much room in turn 1 for air. Yeah, on the inside you got a wall, on the outside you got a wall, so you definitely want to not take your chances there. We've got Chuck Carter spinning, coming out of 14, going into the S's. These guys clear them pretty easily. Let's take a look out throughout the field. This battle seems to have stabilized a little bit. Warner's put about a second on Philippe already, so let's see where else everybody's racing. John Houston here, followed by John Wathen. Two of your Monday night regulars. I don't even know when these guys started. They're way before my time. These are some, call some OGs right here. Looks like we got a slow car on the inside of the track. Not sure who that is. I don't have my real time up. Hard for me to say. That's Josh Slade, unfortunately. Looks like he's got some damage, maybe? Kind of hard to see on that black car with some of these shadows. Anyways, he's coming in the pits. Go back to this battle here for third. Seems to have tightened up a little bit as they clear some lap traffic. If I'm not mistaken, that might be Omar. Let's hop back here to Houston because it looks like he's got Wathen all over his 6. Now there's a good little run coming up here to turn 10. This corner is pretty much flat, so see if he can get maybe a late break. Maybe it's good. Nope, not enough. Wathen, he shut it down. That was wise. It wasn't on. Good move by him. Chase him down again, see if he gives you another go. Coming this fast that Bishop's been here. This corner's just really fun. Not a lot of elevation in Sebring, and that's one of the corners that's just got a little bit of built-in camber that whatever elevation Sebring gives you, it's there. That's about the only place you're gonna find it. The rest of the track is flat. So we've got 19 laps in. 19 laps in the books, folks. Matt Taylor's got a comfortable 13.5 second lead over Mark DeGraw. Andrew Warner in P3. Philippe Gill P4. Looks like Ezza's clawed his way back to P5. And then this battle here, we're staying on P6. John Houston, P7, John Wathen. And if I'm not mistaken, that is an all-black car belonging to Chris Moses lurking in the background, who's in P8. He's only a second out. Now he's got to keep it together. He almost loses it coming out of turn 7 there. And it's not just one all-black car. It's 2 all-black cars. They belong to Brad Maris, who is in P9. Haven't talked much about Brad tonight. He's usually up here calling the shots. He's a Thursday night regular. Long-time NAGP here. Brad's always quick. Looks like he's just sitting in the catbird seat watching these 3 cars slowly reel them in. There's Chris Moses. That's a cool looking livery. I like that car. That looks real nice. Is that John pulling off? Did John have a little mistake? Looks like he's going to hang on to his position. Maybe he was just offline trying to stay out of the draft. Chris Moses takes it really wide. Oh, that was Wathen setting up to come in the pits. So we've got Wathen. Wathen's coming in. So he must be taking 2 sets of alternates and then running the primaries. Let's see what tires he comes out on. On the primaries. Okay, so it looks like he ran alternate primary. Let's get back up here to this P6 position here. I apologize, folks. I missed that. That looks like Chris Moses has slipped by John Houston. Now, Chris Moses is on the alternate tire, so he's probably got a bit more pace. Let's look at Moses' lap times. 141, 140s versus... I'm sorry, that's Houston. That's Moses' last time. Houston's 141, 42, so Moses is doing about a second faster a lap, and now he's put some gap. He's put some gap to John Houston. Kevin Lekmansky, position 9th. And somehow he's squeezed past Brad Marys. Boy, the action is fast and furious. Hey, let's go down to another battle. Sean Cuppett. Looks like he's duking it out with Greg Myers. He's fallen a little bit back. Last time we saw Greg, I think he was around 12th. That could have been pit cycles. So it looks like we've got 15th, 16th, and 17th. We'll keep an eye on everything up front. Andrew Werner's in the pits. He was in P3. Cuppett on primaries. Jacobs on alternates. Greg's on alternates. So drivers being equal, you would think that John would be a little bit vulnerable here on the primary tires, but you know, it depends on how many laps they have on these tires and if those tires are, you know, getting to their good spot or if they've already gone away. You know, there's circumstances I think a primary is going to be faster than an alternate when an alternate's past its prime. So it looks like Cuppett, looks like he's going to concede that position to Jacobs. Alan Jacobs doing a nice job there on the inside of turn 17. Both drivers doing a nice job. Keep it clean. See if Cuppett might have another Shock. Is there a rebuttal going into turn 1? Well, he got a look, but it wasn't on. Jet back up. Brad Marys. Oh, we just caught him as he... Oh. It's a good save, Brad. Just keep it pointing in the right direction. That looks like he lost it in turn 10. Still hanging on to it. He's on those alternates. If he got those alternates too hot, they might be real greasy. So that let Lekmansky by. Warner's completed his pit stop. He cycled through. Now he's on to the primaries. Let's jump down here with Brad Myers. Looks like they've cleared Jonathan Cuppet on the primary tires, but both these guys are starting to get a little racy here on the alternate tires. So different strategies we'll see them come into play. And just because these guys are even on the same tire, we don't know how much time they have on each of these tires. So, you know, I don't know if Greg's got fresh ones or old ones, and same for Alan. This is the battle for P15. We've still got 24 cars on track. We started with 32, so we've lost 8 through retirement or some that are just taking extensive repairs. Or it's also a warm sunny day in Florida. They could just be having ice cream. Let's jump back up here to keep an eye on Greg Warner. Looks like Myers is keeping Jacobs at bay for now. We're hopping around here, folks. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the best race we can find. Brad Marys is in P8. Jake Feemster. We haven't said much about Jake since the beginning. I think he had a broken wing. Looks like he got that patched up, and he's in P9 on the alternates. Man, good run for Jake so far. Now let's see if he can maybe make up some ground there on Brad. He's got about 8 seconds, so he's got a lot of work cut out in front of him. He's got Lekmansky out in 6. Let's jump back here to Greg Myers. Still got a mirror full of Alan Jacobs. We're on this back stretch. You'd think if you're going to use a push to pass, this might be a great place to use it. Oh, can't get much closer. 2 different lines there through turn 17, and hard to say which one was right and which one was wrong, but Greg gets a better run coming off the corner. He's going to have a little bit of breathing room going into turn 1. And we've got Taylor. He's in the pits. So, with 9 laps left to go, Taylor goes alternate, primary, alternate. So what we are seeing is it looks to be some sort of combination of 2 alternates and a primary. Seems to be the path we're seeing. DeGraw's in the pits. He's away. He's back on the alternate. Let's see what Warner's going to do. He's going to go for another lap. He's on the primaries. So maybe some guys go on alternate primaries and other variations of that. Philippe Gill still out there in the primaries. We've lost John Ludden, folks. I'm sorry I missed it. I didn't see what happened to Johnny. Greg Myers still being hounded by Alan Jacobs. Those two having a nice clean race back here. Ezra's coming in the pits, or he might be coming out. He's making his stop. He's on the primaries. He'll probably come out in the alternates. We'll see how this shakes out. So a lot of pit stops happening. This is probably our last round of pit stops here. Santiago Ocampo having a good run here, 13th. He's got a mirror full of Jonathan Cuppett. Takes it a little bit wide going on the carousel, maybe trying to play it safe on the exit. So it looks like Taylor's back out on track. Looks like Taylor's been here the whole day. Got out to a quick lead. When Pete, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Michael McKinday who had a little slip up in P2 and gave Matt some breathing room, and he's had the hammer down since lap 1. Mark DeGraw, 17, almost 18 seconds back, but in P2 comfortably. He's got about 4 seconds to Andrew Warner. Philippe Gill from Andrew, 26 seconds back. Moses, Chris the King Moses is in P5. He's on the primary tire. Now I'm not sure if he's good to go to the end or not. Maybe he's temporarily in P5, or maybe he's found a way to strategize and race himself there. John Houston is in 6th. That one's for you, Chris. John Wathen, P7. It's John Houston, John Wathen. Still pretty close on track from what we saw before. Iggy Jordia, P8. Let's take a look at Iggy's times. I wonder if he's stopped yet. Looks like he's only had one stop, but maybe Iggy's playing the long game. Either way, he's in P8 now. A great run going so far for Iggy. Kevin Lekmansky had to be one of your favorites going into this first round here in P9. He's on the alternate, so he's got a long ways to Iggy, about 5.5 seconds, but who knows? Maybe he can get there. Brad Marys in 10th. Jake Feemster in 11th. Not too far behind Jake. This actually might be our best on-lap battle. Santiago Ocampo. Great run for Santiago. And your last car in the lead lap is going to be Aaron Parsons. Now, Matt's made all his pit stops, so we're not going to have any more cars getting a lap back. We might have a couple if they haven't pitted yet, which Iggy's coming in, so Iggy hadn't pitted. So Iggy's going to lose a couple positions here. It looks like everybody has cycled through pit stops. So we got 13 on the lead lap. Jake's coming under pressure again from Santiago. Takes it a little wide coming out of that last corner. If he can stay in the throttle, he won't lose too much time. So while we're keeping an eye on this battle, looks to be our best battle on track. Just want to give a shout out to all those guys who put so much time and effort into jumping right into the hot seat. I gave my thanks, and everybody's enjoyed our time under the administration and leadership of Al and Chris Moses and some of those guys who administrated the league since its inception for 11 years. But folks like Chuck Carter, filling in to their best of their abilities. They're doing a damn good job of it too. Pardon my French there. Doing a great job of it. Chuck Carter taking over. John Houston helping out on the administrative side. David Zahn with his applications and his car works, put in a ton of time. We're going to take a big... Zahn's not having the best race, but he's managed to keep it alive. He's just coming out. Was probably going to be his last stop in 20 seconds, so he's pretty much our last runner. But David's on a lot of effort into this season. We appreciate your help there, David. Kevin Lekmansky, as always, putting in work on the car and on the tracks. It's a big shout out to Kevin there. Joel Ekman, John Wathen, Jake Feemster, all big contributors on this offseason to help get season 35 off the ground. It's been about we ended the last season at the end of September, so it's been October, November, December, January. It's been 4 months since season 34. So a little bit longer break than what we're used to. There was a little fun season in the middle there, just as new administrators got their feet wet and wanted to try out their hands at organizing the league. So we ran a short series with some Porsche Cup cars, and that was a lot of fun. I participated in a few of those. And then, the fellas took the rest of the off-season off from that for the holidays and got this car together with these tracks. So it's probably the most modern open-wheel series we've seen for Monday night in a long time, and I think it looks really good. These cars look like they are really moving. I also hear they're kind of a handful, so that makes the race just that much more interesting. Let's hop up to Moses here, because it looks like John Houston is caught back up to him. Like I said about these cars, 2 tires available, and 2 tires have to be, or 2 compounds rather, have to be run throughout the race. Looks like most of these guys met those requirements tonight. Haven't caught anybody guilty of that, but Zon Software will let us know. Also, you saw drivers having to go slow down pit road. You got pit road speeds enforced, and there's penalties for anybody that violates those. And then we've got the push to pass. So what I don't know is how many push to pass these guys have left. I'll have to talk to Mr. Luden or anybody that can help write an app for that. That would be great to know how many of these guys have left. So I don't know if Moses is if he's out of sauce, or maybe he's got a little something and he's just buying his time here with Houston. He's hanging around about a little over half second back, so he's in striking distance. But anyways, yeah, so new regulations for how the season's going to go with the pit speed limit and the tire compounds and the push to pass. It's going to make for a real interesting season. This is just race 1, so I still think some of these guys are figuring out the car, which they haven't had a ton of time with. There was the warm-up race last week at Spa, which I think everybody got, a chance to run the car and try a couple things. And Spa is always a good place to do some testing out with all of its high-speed sections and low-speed corners. A lot more elevation than what you're seeing here at Sebring. That might be Sergio Calderon trying to stay out of Chris's way. For the most part does. Chris is still stalking Houston, but looks like he's lost a little bit of time. And, he's on those primaries. This might be the best he's going to be able to muster with that strategy. Maybe it worked out. Maybe it bought him a couple spots. Maybe he was looking at a P10 or whatnot. I don't know. I thought Chris was a contender for a top 5, but we know he had a little incident there. Feemster's back under pressure here. Santiago Campo, one of our newcomers for this season. He's keeping Jake honest right now. But if he's not careful, Aaron Parsons is sitting back there in P12, and he is on the alternate tire. So he's on what we call the sticky tire right now. He is starting to close the gap a little bit to Santiago. See if we can we go on board with Ezza? There we go. Let's go on board. 3 laps left. Why not? First time we tried this camera out. He is getting closer. He's right there, folks. See if he's. I wish I could tell if he's on push to pass, because I think he might be. Looks like he's going to take it. Take it into turn 7 wide, but he gets around Santiago, so Aaron Parsons now to P11. Aaron's best lap is a 139.6. His last lap was a 140.4. It's a little faster than Jake. Ooh, Ezza gets a little loose coming off 16. That's going to let Jake just slip away. At least for this straightaway. So 31 of 33, folks. 3 laps left to go. Aaron Parsons trying to run down Jake Feemster to get that 10th position. Now I haven't brushed up on any of the points rules, but if we're following last season's and standard of how the points run out, 16 positions will give points. We got 22 cars on track, so not everybody's going to get a point tonight. So there's going to be some racing here at the back. Right now, Cuppett's got the 16th spot. Alan Jacobs puts in his fastest time. Jacobs running here a lap down of 14th. Looks like he did find a way past Greg Myers eventually. We missed that, sorry. Let's take a jump back up here to John Houston, who has lost a bit of time to Chris Moses. Despite being on the alternate tires, maybe this is a scenario of the alternate tire going away and the primary tire coming into its own. And if that is the situation, boy, Chris could look really brilliant here if he could find a way to get past Houston for position 5. We'll see. 2 laps left. Matt Taylor's still out in the lead comfortably, folks. 22 seconds. Sorry, Matt, you haven't got a lot of attention here. Car looks great. Car looks clean. We're just checking on you, making sure you're still alive, buddy. The race is back here with John Houston and Chris Moses. It looked like David's on there. The lap car having a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure. Now, looks like Houston gapped that out to a little over a second now. So maybe Houston's just taking it easy here and trying to save whatever he's got in those alternate tires. Jump back here to Jake, who has been caught by Ezza, so we were watching a little bit of this earlier. Leaders on the final lap. So that's Matt Taylor, folks. But these guys are on the lead lap, so they've still got a long ways to go. Almost a lap and a half here as they'll clear this corner. Parsons still trying to catch up to Jake Feemster. Half a second here. Does he have a push to pass in the bank? He gets in a little closer. Jake runs real wide. Real wide. That might open the door. Oh, but Aaron has a little bit of oversteer coming out of the exit. Let's switch back to our other camera here. He's going to get a run down the inside. Ez has got a run down the inside. It looks like he can make it stick. Ez has got around Jake for 10th. Matt Taylor, folks. Matt Taylor's just across the finish line, position 1. Mark DeGraw, he's coming around. He's going to be for position 2. Philippe currently, but let's take a look back here at Parsons and see if Jake can get back to him. Looks like he's got enough gap. Philippe Gill coming around Sunset Bend. Takes the checkered flag, P3. Great run for Philippe. That's your podium. Taylor, DeGraw, Gill. Andrew Warner. Got to feel good about a position 4 here. That's a strong run tonight. Good job, Andrew. Solid run. He won't have any ballast for next week, assuming we're keeping ballast rules. He'll be in a good position for next week. John Houston brings it home 5th. Chris the King Moses just outside the top 5 with a position 6. Solid run for him. John Wathen, P7. Brad Mary's going to be coming around the bend here. P8. Didn't see much of Brad tonight. A couple shots. I'm not sure if he had just a quiet night or whatnot, but P8. Good for Brad. Kevin Lekmansky, P9. Good run for Kevin, although I'm sure he wished better. Ez's P10. Feemster, 11. Santiago Ocampo's going to be our last car in lead lap. That's 12 cars in lead lap, 22 cars finishing tonight. Matt Taylor's your winner. Let's see if we can't go find Matt. Matt Taylor, do you copy?
I got you if it's working.
It's working. The season's working. It's working for you. Good run out there, buddy. That looked, I'm not going to say it looked easy, but looks like you got, a little bit of luck to get some gap out the front, or I should say some unlucky folks behind you, and smooth sailing from there on out, huh?
Yeah, McKinday was hanging with me, and I think the next thing I knew is I looked down and I had a 4-second gap to second. And from there, I just kind of let the car do the work.
Now, I didn't get to chat with everybody. No, everybody was sharing their strategy, so I explained a little bit of what we're doing with the tires and the push to pass. But from my viewpoint, it looks like everybody pitted twice and did 2 stints on the alternate. Is that the way you saw as the fastest way to get it done? What'd you do?
Yeah, I did the same thing. In fact, the alternates, I ran 10 on the alternates, and that last half a lap was really sketchy with the tires wearing out. And we don't really have the fuel to run to halfway either, so it should be really interesting as the season goes on to see how the tire strategies work out with there being 2 pit stops.
So you had some interesting thoughts about this car, about it being hard to handle, and Sebring is known for being a treacherous track. How much of a handful is this car, especially around a place like Sebring that's typically pretty bumpy?
That this car, and it could have been my setup, it did not like the bumps. If I was not careful over certain parts of the track, I was going to be wrecking, and it'll bite you if you push it too far or you give it too much throttle in the wrong spot. It'll absolutely make you pay for it.
We saw a couple guys half spins, and a couple guys actually get off track, and unfortunately a couple guys into the wall. I didn't get a chance to follow you much because we had 32 cars and were on track battles aplenty. Did you have any near misses up there or any pucker moments?
No, not really. I really tried to. Once I saw that gap and I was able to stretch it out a little bit, I really was super cautious with any lap traffic or anybody I came on. So I really didn't have to worry about it too much, which was nice.
Well, good on you. That's got to feel good. First race of the season. Led every lap. I don't even think you lost a spot with the gap you posted for the pit. So great run tonight. Great start of the season. Wish the best for you, and congrats again on the win.
Hey, thanks, Jesse, and thank you for doing the broadcast. Appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you. Well, that's going to be it for our first broadcast of the season, our first race of the season here at NAGP. I'm Jesse Olson. Thank you all for watching. Matt Taylor was your winner. Mark DeGraw in second. Philippe Gill rounds out the podium. So congrats to those drivers and congrats to all of those that finished. And here's to you and everyone for a great season 35 from here going forward. Good night.